school here. And so it brings back a lot of memories. So first of all, I just want to congratulate all of you on your fundraising efforts for the Dempsey Center. You did a great job last year and a fantastic job this year. On behalf of everyone at the center, also my sisters who are here who graduated from Leavitt a few years ago. Fundraising, what an impact you're making in your community. And that's probably the most important thing in life, is really to be of service, to do something of value, and you're doing that. And I'm very grateful for that, and very honored to be here today. Thank you. I love to. I gotta be careful on the new floor though, I don't want to scratch it. Have you heard that before?
That's a theme.
Right. It was wild. So I went to elementary school here when the school just opened many years ago. Yes, that's right. So, yeah.
So, Patrick, we have some questions that students have submitted, and I think they're pretty good questions, so I was impressed with the questions we got. The first one that we have is from Cole Hudson. He's a 10th grader.
Where is he?
Where's Cole?
Hey, Cole, you're already in the back, right back there? All right, Cole.
His question is, what was your childhood like?
You know, it was this area, so I did a lot of fishing, and then in the winter we used to go down and skate on the river, and then we'd go in. I remember making the big trip in Friday night into Lewiston Harbor to go do laundry, grocery shopping, and then you'd walk around the aisles wishing you could get certain things. But I remember a lot of time on the road, cycling around, going to the bear pond, swimming, roller skating, those type of things. It really, what I miss about Maine the most is being in nature and how green it is here. And it was nice to see, as I was coming over from the villages, some of those farms are still in existence, because there were a lot of apple farms when I was growing up here, and the dairy farms. And of course, before they went through, used to go through the village, Route 4 used to go through there, that's all changed. So. Yeah, so I had a great childhood because I got a chance to run around and do my own thing, and Dennis Richardson and his family and Timothy and a lot of people that are still here I see, and I come up every now and then. And the Nickersons used to have their little store, and they were always very good to us, and the kids, they used to give us free candy when it was actually a penny. That's not happening anymore.
So it's easy to tell a local guy when he says, I came in from the village, so that's clearly from around here. So, Izzy Gates, where's Izzy at?
Izzy, hey Izzy, what's up?
So Izzy's question was, go ahead and ask it.
What's your question? Hold on, turn around and see your comments. Hey, this is Izzy, you guys all know? How's my environment changed?
Yeah.
As far as the planet itself or the town? It's a big question.
I don't know.
You guys know? Yeah, no.
Okay, so like, basically,
I think the gist of her question was, what was the favorite job you ever had?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I apologize. Your question is very clear. So, favorite job? I had a lot of jobs. So picking up drops was really a fun job. I got to do that. And then, of course, my dad had a redemption center in the village, and I had to do that. But my favorite job was being an actor. I'm lucky to be able to do that, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's kind of it.
So your juggling talent has been a topic of conversation this week.
Oh, really?
It has.
Do we have any jugglers in the audience tonight?
We have a few.
There we are. This gentleman right here.
So Maddie Gabry, who's a lot of had a question. How did you get into juggling?
So I was going to junior high school, Buckfield High School, and the power had gone out in shop class. And the teacher by the name of Paul McKinney started juggling to keep us entertained because we couldn't do anything. Our projects had stopped because clearly we had no power. And then that's when I started. He taught me how to do the 3-ball cascade. And Mike Micklon, who was a few years younger than I was, he started juggling as well around that time as well. So that's how it started. Shop class.
Who would have thought? Shop class is right.
Yeah. Do you have shop class still? Do you still have shop class?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, good. That's like a lot of schools don't, so it's
I
pretty
don't,
good.
I don't think Mr. Leposki juggles though.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
Next question. Katana Carey, who was 11th grader. Katana, I don't know where you're at, but somewhere around. Her question was, did you do theater or drama when you were in high school?
I was a terrible student. I always flunked. Like, I was like the worst student, and they would put me in all those classes that, you know, the learning disabled classes. So, no, I never did any acting in high school at all. I never got on any of those quiz clubs because my grades weren't there. So it was just, I always struggled because I have dyslexia. I don't know if anybody has dyslexia here. See, all right, so you know what I'm talking about. It was very hard, and at that point, they really didn't diagnose it early enough to kind of get there and sort of do an intervention. So I think things have changed a lot. So I had to act out quite a bit, and I spent a lot of time in detention, and I learned a lot there about not acting out and trying to kind of keep myself under control. But I was just incredibly frustrated in school. So coming through here, I remember early on, the school had burnt down in North Turner, and we had to come down here. And I remember the first time the teacher I was in the back of the class and I had to write something down, and I was like, this is going to be horrible. And that was, I'd never forget that moment to this day, you know, about the struggles of it. Because we all learn differently. And I think that's the most important thing to remember is like, everybody has a different style of learning. And this is really teaching you the discipline of trying to teach yourself and then to advocate for yourself as a student. Because this is just the beginning of your education. It doesn't stop after you graduate. It doesn't stop after you finish college. And what I'm learning is like audiobooks are fantastic. You go to lectures and things like that. There's a way to learn. So if you're struggling with your writing, thank God we have the electronics that can get us through that. But it's reading is really going to give you the education. And it never stops to this day. It's like you just want to keep absorbing new information and growing.
So that's actually a segue into another question that we had for you. Ray Judd, who's over here with the 12th graders, she's up there. Her question was, how difficult has it been reading scripts, having the dyslexia?
The reading, it takes me longer to comprehend it, you know, and then doing the table reads are the worst because I would get the script at the last minute. And the nerves would come up, and it's very hard to control your emotions in order to concentrate because you're feeling very self-conscious. Like, Izzy, when you got up, you see how it is, right? You have all these people watching you. You have to learn how to block that out. So it's a technique that you learn how to get comfortable, but it's something that I always struggle with to this day. The hardest thing for me in the acting is understanding and having the discipline to sit down and read the script, making notes, and then working harder than anybody else to be off book so that I know the lines so well that I can have anything happen in front of the camera or around me and I won't be distracted. So there's a gift in it, right? And for a long time I thought I was less than everybody else and I wasn't any good, and then suddenly you get all this validation from around the world. And so any kind of issue that you have, like the gentleman has dyslexia, there's a gift in this for you because you're going to be looking at the world so differently. You know, not everybody's going to understand it, but you're going to be able to see things that people don't see. And that's your gold. That's your superpower. And I think these are the things we have to remember, especially with so much social media. We're pointed out, like, well, we have to be like this, or we have to look like this, or we have to have this style. And it's really not that important. At the end of the day, the biggest thing to learn is just be yourself. And the more you can own that, and the truth you have in that gives you the power and the confidence, and then you start to attract the right people to you. Because you're not trying to be something else. It took me a really long time to learn that, and I'm still to this day trying to practice what I'm preaching to them.
So back to the acting piece.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to combine two questions. So we had Noma Hutchinson, who's an 11th grader, she's around here somewhere, and then we had Aaliyah Clark, who's a 10th grader, who's over here somewhere. And without doing theater or drama in high school, how did you get your foot in the door with acting, and how did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
So I wanted to be a ski racer. So I did a lot of ski racing, started at Lost Valley, and I had won the state main championship because I could do, like school I couldn't do very well in, but athletics I was always very competitive. I could shine there, I could get my confidence there, I could be recognized. So once I learned how to juggle, Paul McKinney was with this group of vaudevillians called Buckfield, Leather, and Lather, and I started performing with them. And then I did a semi-professional show in Lewiston. It was on Golden Pond with Lou Alessio, the main acting company, and that's how I started. And then I think around age 17, Tilton's Market in Buckfield gave me enough money, along with some other people, to go to New York to do this talent competition. I had to do a 3-minute juggling competition, and I won it. And I got an agent, lied about my age, dropped out of high school, and then went to New York to do Torch Song Trilogy. And that's how I started. It happened very quickly. And I have kids now. Can you imagine being in New York on your own at age 17? I was completely on my own trying to figure it out, and I had a job, thank goodness. And then that's really where my education began. It's just coming from rural Maine into Manhattan and then into San Francisco, being in the city, I learned a lot very quickly. And figured, I was like, I'm not going to go back home to Maine until I make it. I remember that. That was a hard decision because I was on my own completely.
That's a steep learning curve.
It was very steep. But I was very fortunate, that things unfolded the way they did. I can't believe it sometimes. I'm just shocked.
Sandra struck.
Uh-oh, you're running on this. Do you have clean sneakers? She's just because the sneakers are right. Make sure those sneakers are proper.
We scanned them before she came in. Sandra Struckman is a senior, and her question for you is, do you still keep in touch with any of your former cast members?
Well, it's funny because you run into them in random places, so yes, you do, but it's so, nomadic to begin with, this profession, is that you won't see people for 5 or 6 years, and then you'll see them, and then you just pick up the relationship right where you start off. So, where you left off, I should say. And, we're also nomadic, we're always traveling. It's hard to be in the city at the same time. But airports, you run into people in airports all the time. That's like old homework, it's fun. So yes, I do, but we don't actively see each other.
Yeah, it just happens naturally.
It happens, because everybody's busy.
Right. Jace Cabaya, also a senior. Jace, where are you at? Jace is up in the
What's up, man?
Jace's question is around stunts. Have you done any of your own stunts?
So it's tricky because we're in the middle of a strike, so I can't talk about too much, but I can talk about the Ferrari movie. Okay. So to me, this was the best movie I've ever done in my life. Number one, I was working in Italy, and I was driving really cool cars, and I got to do all the stunt driving with all the stunt drivers, and that was the best. It was scary, but it was fun, and it takes place in 1957, so it's like you step back in time. So to be able to do all of that, and to bring both of my passions together was really cool. So yeah, I have done some, but not like Tom Cruise. He's like super cool when he can do all this stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Next question is from Cambry Cutter, who's sitting right over there. And I know you can't say anything specifics, but how many movies have you been in?
Yeah, I think it's 47 movies. That's not counting TV shows. I know, right? It's crazy. It's nice. 40 years in the business now, but I started when I was 17 professional.
That's crazy. Let's see. Bradley Dupile. Bradley, where are you at?
Hey, Bradley. Gee, look at your hair. You got some gray hair there. Come on, stand up. Does everybody know Bradley? Hey!
Bradley's question goes back to high school. What was your favorite part of high school?
Getting out of high school. It was interesting because right when I moved from Turner to Buckfield was junior high school, so I missed junior high school. I missed all my friends that I had grown up with. It was hard. High school was very hard. It's a hard period of time to be in, I think. So I don't know if I missed any of it. I just was happy to get out of it and get away from it as much as possible because it was such a struggle. The only time I had a good time was if I was competing or, shop class was someplace. Actually, we had home ec. Do you guys still have home ec?
We have food science.
Food science, so that's cooking, sewing, all those life skills that we actually need.
A lot of cooking.
Yeah, a lot of cooking. But it's actually quite helpful. So I did well in those.
Julia Groover, 11th grade. Where's Julia at? Julia's right there. Her question is, what is your best piece of advice for students soon to be graduating high school?
Wow.
Not to put you on the spot.
No. I think this is an important question because I talked about it a little bit. I think, what's your intention? What do you want to do in life? What's your intention? This is a question for everybody. It's like, as a woman, what do you want to do? Leadership, you're in a generation right now where the barriers are being taken down. You need to continue that, to be empowered, to have the equality. What business do you want to go into? Do you want to create your own business? What is it that you want to do? And once you figure that out, and that's a hard question to answer. For me, it was very easy because I was going into a profession with acting, but whether it's a trade, whether it's education, whatever it is, find the best people and work with them. And keep listening to books, reading books, and educating yourself, because your education never stops. And then find a trade as well as a degree, and do both. And try to create your own company, and be around people, especially when you're in your teens or your 20s. It's a great opportunity to be an apprentice. Work with the masters. Seek out and find the people that you want to learn from and follow them. You see a lot of people right now that come into a job and they want to take over right away. And that's great. It's good that you have that desire to lead, but you need to learn from the people who've mastered, and that takes some time. And there's a good book called Mastery, I think, that's out about talking about being an apprentice, and eventually you'll move up and you'll be the person who'll be the master. And I think it's those things. Figure out what you want to do, find the best people, and then just be relentless in realizing journey. And education can start and happen in so many different ways. It doesn't have to happen in the traditional sense. And then do something like what you're doing with the fundraising for the center. Be of service, whatever that may be. That will give you the most meaning in life. No matter how much money you get, how much celebrity you get, it will never have as much meaning as doing something collectively for the benefit of your fellow man and woman. That sense of community, that you come from a small town here, you're very fortunate in so many ways to have that intimacy and that connection with people. But when you go to a bigger city, you don't have the space available, so you don't have the same type of feeling. So you want to be able to create it. So that's what I would focus on.
Thank you. So that was a pretty heavy question. So I'm gonna.
Sorry.
I got some. This is hard-nosed journalism right here.
Okay, good.
And this question comes from Ashlyn Holbrook. Ashlyn, where are you at? Right there. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
I like both. I think the combination is really quite funny. When you get a kitten and a puppy together, they grow up together, it's really fun. But I like having both. And certainly having animals in the house is really important. Right.
So this is more hardcore journalism right here.
Okay, we'll go back.
And this is from Ava Parkin. I don't know where Ava's at. Ava's right there. She's very excited that I'm asking her a question. Do you, Anna Kendrick, and Stephen King have a main celebrity club where you meet up?
I've never met Stephen King.
Oh.
I've auditioned for his movies. I've never gotten one. Are you leaving already? What happened? Hi. Clearly, she's never watched any of my movies. Turn around and say hi. Goodbye. So it's kind of like Stephen King right there, and sort of being ignored and things like that.
The culture.
Yeah, and that happens. That's life, right? So I don't know what that person's dealing with if it makes them behave. So it's a good thing. This is actually a teachable moment. This is really good. Because could I feel rejected or upset and sort of distant? But I don't know what that person's going through. I don't know what that dynamic is. So we have so much animosity and conflict in the world because we're so quick to fight. But you ever take the time to go, you know what is that person feeling? Because if someone is angry or someone's usually hurt or vulnerable, and that's when you need to be kind. And this is the hardest thing in the world to do, and it happened to me today. I wanted to get like a cup of coffee to come up here, and this delivery man had blocked the street in a tractor trailer, And there were like 10 cars that were backed up. And older people who couldn't get out of the car and walk to the post office to do their business. So you have two choices, right? You can get on the horn, you can scream at everybody, but what does that produce? Just more anxiety. Everybody's going to be at each other. So you just go, okay, what can I do to make this situation better? How can I control my emotions and not get caught up in this? So I'm like, okay, we need to clearly back out. So I talk to the person in front of me, I talk to the people behind me, and we start backing out. And then you dissipate the energy. And this is why we're in such trouble as a society right now. Is because we're fighting with people, and if someone gets you mad or they hurt you, you can't lash out. You have to have the emotional discipline to control what you can control. You can't control the outside world. And what I've been working on lately is like stoicism, like Ryan Holiday. Just get the Daily Stoic and just read that every day. It gives you a philosophy in order to deal with all the heavy shit that's going on in the world. Because that's where you're going to find happiness, is when you can control your emotions and not fight with people. And it's hard because you've got so much going on as teenagers. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of lack of control. But now is the time to be able to work on these things. And sometimes we don't learn this in school. No disrespect for these things, but mindfulness, how you control your emotions, how you understand compassion, those principles are so important. What was your question, by the way?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't know, I lost track. So let's talk a little bit about the Dempsey Center.
Yes, the Dempsey Center.
So what inspired you to create the Dempsey Center?
So my mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 1997. I don't know if anybody in this room has been affected by cancer or they themselves. Do we have any cancer survivors here? No? Great. You? Okay. And up here in the corner. So once you find that information, it's so overwhelming and so scary. Thank God my sister Mary, who is here, was working at the hospital and really understood the inner workings of what was going on with the doctors, what my mother needed. I felt completely helpless, and I wasn't here. It was very hard. My other sister, Alicia, who is here too, I wanted to be able to help and support. And I remember many years, like 5 years later, I started to get some recognition on the show that became very popular. And people asked me, what do you stand for? Your mother has cancer, and I was there for a cancer event, and then I was exposed to what's called wraparound care, or integrative medicine. What that means is you're not treating the disease itself, you're treating the person. And I was like, oh, this is great. So I remember calling Mary, and I go, is there anything like this in our community? Because I think Mom could benefit from this. And she said no. And then we sort of did some asking around, and it was Carrie Irish, right? I think I've heard originally. And that's how it started. And then I was like, you know what? I got some great advice at the theater at Mom. And they're like, don't forget where you come from. Always remember where you come from. You can't run away from it. It's like coming back here, it's like I'm running into myself again in a different part of myself. And all of you are an extension of that, right? So that's how it started. It's like, what can we do for the community? And we built it very slowly. We had a little room, maybe servicing 10 or 15 people, trying to get the word out because people thought we were curing the disease or we were in research. But that wasn't what we were doing. So what we do is, when someone's been impacted by cancer, whether it's the patient themselves or the family member, we provide services that support them. And it's no cost. So they don't have to pay for the thing. And that's what's so important about what you've done here with the money that you've raised last year and this year. You make it possible for people to get treated, and they don't have to worry and have the anxiety how they're going to pay for it. So we treat the person who's been diagnosed, the family, whatever they need, through nutrition, through Reiki, acupuncture, mindfulness, meditation, anything. And basically, we sort of go, what do you need? How can we help you get that? And I said this before, to be of service, God bless you, is really the best because you're working with people who are doing something that's not about the ego. They're doing about what is the right thing to do for this person. And that's where we need to be. That's where we need to meet people.
That's great, thank you very much. And that question was from Ella Howard. Ella's over there.
Where are you?
Oh, Ella's right here.
Oh, hello. Oh, don't be shy.
And our next question is related to the Dempsey Challenge. Callie Brown is a 10th grader. I know where Callie's at.
Who's Kelly?
Callie's up there, I think.
Oh, right over here.
Oh, there she is. Okay. And her question is, how much money does the Dempsey Challenge raise annually?
I think we did about 1.5 million every, and we're getting there, yeah, 1.6 this year. Okay, finish. So we're 1.6 million right now for rent. That goes a long way. Yeah. And the spirit, I mean, I love the spirit of it because it brings the community together. A lot of friends from high school I see, you know, and it's great. It's really proud to be a part of it.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing.
So,
Uh-oh, here he goes.
this next question.
Oh, dude. Where are
Karen.
you going? Where are you going to go to work? Where? Alright, so he's got an excuse, he's got to go to work. There you go. Come on, give a big round of applause on that. Go to work!
So this next question comes from Dominic Toscano. Where's Dom at? Dom's up there, and I think this is somewhat of a, he's asking on purpose. Are you going to be present on Saturday?
Yes.
If so, would you be willing to go on stage and play and sing a song with Camp of Rock? Are you in Camp of Rock? That's what I figured.
You know what? I can't play anything, and my voice is terrible. But go ahead, what do you want to say? But I can. All right, I'll get up on stage with you. I'll do one song, and we'll do something.
Awesome. That's
All
great.
right.
Brody Remington. Where's Brody at?
Brody.
Where's Brody Remington at? There he is. He's up in the
Hey,
back.
right there. Hey, Brody.
Brody's question is, how many cars do you have and what are they?
Okay, so how many cars do I have? So the first, yeah, sure, come on down if you want to come down.
Your flashlight's on.
Yeah. Okay, sit down. Sit down.
Alright, so I personally learned more about my stepmom. Her mom she's trying to survive cancer. And I heard that she was in the hospital when you're newborn, so that's where I heard you from.
Okay, well that's cool. I hope they're doing well now, but assuming how many cars do I have? How many cars do I have was your question?
No, I
I have more than enough, but thank you. There we go.
Oh my
Okay, let's go down That's fantastic. Did you guys hear what he had to say about this? Okay, so Brody has someone who's been impacted by cancer in his family. And that's how he heard about me. He doesn't know who I am really. Which is great, but he does know about the center, and that means more to me than anything else. So that's pretty cool. That's
Good
great.
job.
Lydia McLean, where's Lydia at?
There you go.
Her question is, who's the coolest person you've ever met?
Who's the coolest person I've ever met? Kristen Stewart's pretty cool. I mean, she's really down to earth and just her own person. Drew Barrymore, you know, I think is really an amazing person as well. Very kind, very humble. Some actors not so much, but most people, I think. Michael Fassbender, he also races, he's a cool guy. But I don't really hang out with a lot of celebrities, but sports stars, the coolest guy I've ever met and the nicest person is Messi. I don't know if anybody's into football. Dude, this man is the most gracious sports star I've ever run into. So kind.
Messi.
Like he
Lionel
would
Messi.
come to you and
That's
say
not
hello to you.
great.
Can't speak any English. But but he's kind, and he's humble, and he's brilliant. And that was impressive to me, and it's great to see what he's doing for soccer in this country right now. So it's incredible.
He's great.
Things happen when you leave, Addy. I don't have to worry about you anymore. I can do more things.
And then you guys can all go home for the weekend.
What is your proudest achievement?
I think, without question, it's the Dempsey Center. It's the best thing possible. Have a good weekend. Are you going to practice? I hope so. That is it. That, without question. I think of all the things that I've achieved, this is the one that is the most important and the most meaningful.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking
Thank you all very much for your patience.
What is happening?
Turn it over to campers.
So we had some more news carrying before they all left because they want to get out of here. So let them go. Hey, who's this?
Can I have all the members of Team Wandini from last year and this year stand up for us, please? Just stand up. This group has raised this year $5,423 for the Dempsey Challenge. This group is our 2023 Dempsey Challenge High School Challenge winners once again. So our friends at Otto's Pizza over in Auburn heard about the amazing work that you're doing and all the good that you're doing in support of the Dempsey Center, and they have given you $300 in gift cards to go have a party and celebrate your incredible success. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if I could have all of you come on down, we'll do a group picture.
He's such a good sport.
Right?
Oh my God. He's good. Look at how beautiful. They're all so happy.
Oh, they're taking a selfie! That's awesome! Woo! Yes! I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you video the whole thing, the part about the dyslexia? Because I didn't get that part.
Okay.
So thank you very much. One more round of applause for Mr. Dempsey. Thank you.
This is yours.
Cross country team, you are dismissed. You have a meet to get to.